So did you know that over 70 million people visit Paris, France each year? Today I'm going to tell you why everyone should be a part of that statistic, and I'm going to tell you more about the history, the culture, and the food that you can find in Paris. So for the history, the top picture on the left is the Enlightenment. Basically Paris, like not just France, like Paris itself is the main like cultural hub of Western Europe. Like all the new sciences and arts and all this stuff came out, and it was a big deal, and so Paris is pretty important in that. The French Revolution was basically when the people revolted against, you know, the kings and the queens and whatever, and they guillotined all of them, and it's pretty famous because Marie Antoinette, they like dragged her out of her house and guillotined her in the front yard, so that's nice. And then World War I and II, when the Germans took over Paris and France and they bombed the city, it took a lot of restoration, and still today it's pretty important because like if you go visit, they're still like restoring buildings and churches and all that stuff from the bombing that occurred in World War II. So, and then for culture, art and fashion are huge in Paris. This picture, it's kind of blurry because I was like totally creeping on this lady, but she's riding a bicycle in high heels and skinny jeans with a shopping bag hanging from the handlebars. Like, I don't understand, but it's, you know, they shop and they always dress nice. There's like people that are like dressed like, you don't see people like in basketball shorts, like, you know, in sweats, like chilling. Like when I went to visit, I like literally felt pressured to look perfect like every day. Like, and my dad's like, you're gonna die wearing sandals. I'm like, Dad, I can't wear running shoes here. Like, these people are gonna judge me. And then street performers and vendors, basically everywhere you go, there's like homeless people like painting or drawing on the streets or playing instruments in the subway. There's like mariachi bands like riding the subway with you and, you know, asking for money, and it's pretty cool. And there's little people with little shops and they'll sell their art or they'll sell like souvenirs or something like all up and down the river. So, and then and the people. Basically everyone's super friendly there. The men, it's kind of weird, they're like really forward. Like, you interpret it, it's like kind of creepy, you're like, don't talk to me, but like they come up to you and they're like, you are so pretty, I love your country, I love you, and you're like, why are you talking to me? But they're just trying to be nice, and basically they're like in love with their city. Like, it's not so much their loyalty to France, it's like their loyalty to Paris. Parisian Don George said, I've fallen in love many times, but my real love is for Paris. So basically they're just really passionate about, you know, their culture, who they are, and where they're from. So it's pretty cool. And then lastly, the food. There's these little places called creperies everywhere. And it's like, there's two different kinds of creperies. There's like breakfast creperies where they serve up here, which is literally like, I'm gonna get emotional just talking about it because it's so good. It's like this thing with like bread, and it's got like eggs and bacon and syrup and all this stuff on the inside, and they have coffee with basically like every single meal, coffee and alcohol, and then your food. And then there's sidewalk cafes, which are down here, and almost all of them, they line the streets and they literally turn like all the chairs facing the street, so it's just like designed to people watch, which is pretty cool, you know, if you're creepy. And then dining customs are like really different there. You can't get refills on any of your drinks. It's like frowned upon. Like they think you're like fat, so you just like have to drink like really slow and like savor it. And then also they drink coffee and alcohol with almost every single meal. You get a cappuccino, and then you get whatever drink you want with your food. And they think I'm weird. I'm always like, can I get like apple juice or whatever? And they're like, what? And the drinking age is 18 there, so basically everyone you see is drinking some sort of an alcoholic beverage. And so yeah, that's basically it. So now I've told you kind of more about the history, the culture, and the food you can find in Paris, and why you should be a part of the 70 million people that go and visit it each year.